So, unfortunately, for a lot of people, they are shocked to see that Divine Queen Yada and Yada Awakening basically broke up due to domestic situations. And it was a video that actually went viral, I think a couple of years ago, where she was basically running from him with the baby, and I guess it was happening then. So it makes sense for the people that seen that video, but for other people who didn't see it, it's quite shocking because of course, he was basically acting like he was the perfect husband and things like that. But it's a lot of relationships just aren't what they appear to be physically. So since this is happening, let's see, how did Yada Awakening see Divine Queen Yada? How did Yada Awakening see Divine Queen Yada? Like, how did he truly see her? How did Yada Awakening truly see Divine Queen? Ooh, just a second, y'all. How did Yada Awakening truly see Divine Queen Yada? Okay, so we have the Fool card, the Page of Wands, the Two of Cups, the Knight of Cups, the Page of Cups. So far I'm not getting the Queen. So far I'm seeing like I'm gonna pull 8 cards total. So let me continue pulling and I'll get to it. 10 of Wands. You have the Queen. Okay, now we have the Queen. Okay, Queen of Wands and the 3 of Pentacles. So he's seeing her as someone, I don't know if she's actually, younger than him or not. I know he might be slightly shorter than her. I don't know how much short, or if he's just short in general. But maybe, her height, I don't know. But I'm getting quite a lot of pages, okay? Page of Wands, Page of Cups came out in the reading. So we have the Fool card. So notice how the Fool card is the only major card that I pulled for this spread, right? So this shows that it's a new beginning, but it's also a leap of faith. It's also like a breath of fresh air, but it can also be foolish. But in this case, it was like a breath of fresh air. So he genuinely see her as a breath of fresh air. But with these pages coming out, it's like they're still... So it's something like very fresh that she brings. Like she could have brought a fresh new energy for him, and also being like, cute and polite and stuff like that. She's gorgeous. So it's like that's how he truly seen her. He's seen her as someone that maybe was, cute, and she was like nice to be around, good for like business or contracts or just making deals and things like that. So that's how he saw her. He saw her as a partner, especially someone he can have, frequent access to. I'm not getting any vindictive energy just yet. So since there was like issues going on, I want to pull to see when that might have came about, like, what caused that or whatever the case may be. But yeah, with a lot of pages, it's like maybe I wonder, do he feel enabled by her as well with these pages and Knight of Cups coming out? Because that's also like that high school love too, with the Knight of Cups and Page of Cups coming out. It's like high school type of love. So it's like it was something very high school lovey-dovey about, the way he seen her, or maybe the way she made him feel. But her energy in general though could have definitely been pure and genuine. Okay, we had the 4 of Pentacles after the 3 of Pentacles, 6 of Wands, Strength, World, 8 of Pentacles, 7 of Wands, and the 3 of Swords. So I'm not really getting like no crazy energy too much besides the 7 of Wands, 3 of Swords. So it's like, I'm wondering, like, is the money, like, when the money started coming in, I wonder, was that really when things changed for the worse? Like, was it making him feel too big-headed or something like that? Or making him feel, overly prideful to the point where he just thought he could do whatever he wanted or something? But I'm not getting a king yet, though. So it's like how he's seeing her, it's like he might have just felt like she was part of his, like, program, his everyday life and stuff like that. But it's like it's like things change as well. It definitely something successful, being connected with her as well. But overall, it was just something fresh, something new, something that made him feel free as well. And a lot of things just started happening for him and for them, I guess, but mainly, of course, for him, being with her as well. He originally, if you don't know who he is, he originally got pretty popular because he was saying how he healed himself and lost weight. So he started selling like a lot of little health products and stuff like that. And that might have been, genuine and things like that. And then they started kind of being like a couple and stuff like that. And he also got pretty popular when he was showing the home birth process as well. And it's like he does it so well. So it's like, wow, you would think, okay, he really cares about, his woman, because she's doing a home birth. He's doing everything she needs or giving her everything she needs or something like that. But I don't know, like with these pages and stuff like that, even though it looks like innocent, especially in the beginning, this is also showing that there's still some habits that, you can kind of be in. And it's not too much growth. The only growth that I'm seeing with the Wheel of Fortune and Eight of Pentacles is like the growth in like business and success and things like that. But as far as how they engage with each other, there was still a lot of stuff that was probably not even being said, because you had the Two of Cups, Knight of Cups, Page of Cups. So it's like it could have been times where she, could have tried to voice her opinion, and maybe she wasn't even really heard for real, because you go from the Knight of Cups, Page of Cups, Ten of Wands, Queen of Wands to the Three of Pentacles, Four of Pentacles. So it's like she may have not actually been heard correctly, or she may have not really been able to voice her opinion or, her truth or her feelings, all the time or at all. Maybe that's also when, the violence would come, when she tried to express herself. But for the most part, it's like he just viewed her as someone that, she was beautiful, maybe also successful, or can be successful as well, based on the question that I asked. She's surrounded by all this good energy. So, this shows that she's, overly, for the most part, she's overall, a genuine person, could be very compassionate, helpful, nice, could be easygoing for the most part, not a problematic person. That's how he's seeing her. He may not have, it's almost like, because I barely see swords until I get the Three of Swords, which came out after the Seven of Swords, which could show like the hitting and the, stuff like that. So it's like, it's making me wonder, like, did he just want them to be a couple where, they're existing in the real world, but at the end of the day, like, she can't discuss her truest feelings or something like that. Like, he don't want to know the truth, but he do want to just appear as or act as. But when it comes to needing to discuss concerns, it's almost making me wonder, like, did he want to just sweep that under the rug and just appear this way, or just handle business or something like that? It could have also been something that turned business. It started off, lovey-dovey and sweet and stuff like that, with that high school love, but then it just turned, not really stale, but it just ended up being more about business or something like that. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Ace of Pentacles too. So it's like, I'm wondering, like, did his feelings actually change for her? Because again, the Queen of Wands came out, but I don't get the King or anything like that. So it's almost like, did he just have a change of heart or something like that down the line? Just a second. I had to spit that gum out so I won't get distracted. But basically, so that's how he see her though. He sees her as someone that, she's easygoing when it comes to, partnering. She's a good partner for the most part. Or she's someone he is partnered with and things like that. They have like tangible ties to each other, kids and things like that. That can also be what the pages is, but also he is a short man. But I didn't see the King of Wands or anything like that. So let's see. So that's how he's seen her. He's seeing her as someone that, he could have felt like, because, since he's successful and everything, and just based on, if you can really read into people beyond what they try to show the internet and stuff like that, you can tell, like, there's some pride there. There's some pride there. I don't know how big the ego might be, but it's definitely some ego there. And it's like, he could have felt like with the Fool card leading the reading, he could have felt like he gave her an opportunity as well. He could have felt like he laid a lot of stuff out for her and introduced her to a lot of things as well. So he might even have like, I made you, or if it weren't for me, you wouldn't have this, you know. So let's see, how does Yada Awakening feel about Divine Queen Yada? How does Yada Awakening feel about Divine Queen Yada? And I wish I knew her real name, but how does Yada Awakening feel about Divine Queen Yada? All right, so we have the Ten of Pentacles. So that talks about what's established. So, of course, they have family. So, of course, they have something that's established. Ten of Pentacles talks about what's established in a tangible sense. So, they have a family. They have businesses and money, you know, most likely tied together. But we have the Ten of Pentacles. We have the King of Cups. So, now we have the King of Cups. So, how he feels about her, we have the Eight of Wands. He feels like they have, you know, stuff together. Kids, you know, together. Kids that's going to grow up. We have the Ten of Swords, the Five of Cups, the Page of Wands, the Four of Cups, the Queen of Pentacles, the Six of Swords, the Tower card. Okay. So the Tower card is the only major that came out so far, and it's the last card, which shows that all of this is leading up to the Tower. So all of the bad stuff that he did that caused bruising and things like that, because that's how I'm seeing the King of Cups, Eight of Wands, and then the Ten of Swords and the Five of Cups. That to me is like the aftermath of him doing what he did to her when she showed, you know, her face and everything. So I feel like he may not like that that's displayed, or he, you know, I don't feel like he's that he might be like really anxious about it, but not in a scary way. But you know, I feel like, I don't know how to explain it, because it's like, it's not really scared that I'm trying to explain. It's more so like, for instance, it's like this anticipation type of thing, but for the most part, he's acknowledging that she's leaving him for what he did and how he act. And then the Page of Wands coming out again. So he could definitely have some so wow, this is reminding me how a lot of people, you know, or how it was said that he might have the Napoleon syndrome. So with this Page of Wands showing up, it's like, it makes me wonder, do he have the Napoleon syndrome? Because it's like, with this Page of Wands showing up yet again, it's like, you know, Four of Cups, Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Swords, Tower. So yeah, so after the Tower, we have the Page of Pentacles, Seven of Swords, Empress. Yeah, so Nine of Swords. She's just gonna try. I don't know if she even want to really deal with it when it comes to the parental stuff as well, with the Empress card being surrounded by the Seven of Swords and Nine of Swords. But I feel like, you know, she's gonna do what she gotta do in regards to that. I don't know if she's gonna like put him on any type of support or anything like that. But something's going on with that possible consideration surrounding the kids' funding or something like that. But yeah, so he's just acknowledging that she's leaving. Of course, he don't, you know, he may not like how things look or how things are going right now, but he's acknowledging that she's leaving, and he also may feel like it's a possibility he could lose his family. So let's see, why did he treat her like this? So let's see, why did Yada Awakening do this to Divine Queen Yada? Why did Yada Awakening do this to Divine Queen Yada? And so we have the Nine of Pentacles, Queen of Swords. It's almost okay. So with the Nine of Pentacles, Queen of Swords, Two of Wands, it's like maybe she was appearing to be too sufficient. You know, whenever she appeared to be too sufficient or even better supported financially, Three of Cups, too happy for him or something, Four of Cups, Star, Page of Pentacles, Temperance. Because I'm not saying she's doing anything like that should make anyone mad. So it's almost like her just having her own life and other stuff going on could be what contributed to him doing that. Maybe he got jealous or something like that. Five of Swords at the bottom. So he could have been jealous. Wow, look at that. At the bottom, you got the Five of Swords, King of Pentacles, and the Knight of Wands. So it's almost like he might have gotten mad or jealous or even, you know, hateful when she got other stuff going on, other business ventures, making money with other people or something like that. With the Star card and the Temperance card, you know, she could have had her own business moves, you know, elsewhere. And that could have been a problem for him. Maybe he want to be in control or something like that. Especially when he feel like he don't know what she's doing. Page of Swords, Seven of Wands, and the Moon card. Then you have the Nine of Swords. It could have been his own, we have the Empress card. It could have been his own fears and worries or his own negative beliefs about like what she got going on. It could also be something about another female as well. And this is a video, so we do have time because usually I get other ideas when I already stopped the video. So I just want to take my time to see what else. And also, like, if she was ever fed up, because, you know, the Queen of Swords, they usually say the Queen of Swords is when somebody is fed up. So if it was ever a time where, you know, she might have attempted to even, you know, detach herself from him in a certain way, but maybe still interacting with him, but still doing her own thing, you know, it could be that too. But it's almost like her just being sufficient and focused on herself is a problem. Maybe she was just going shopping or something like that, you know, just to get away from him or something like that. And that's a problem for him. Like, you know, he might be worried she's talking to somebody else or something. So yeah, it's just his own conflicting thoughts based on her doing her own thing. If she leave the house by herself, especially if they have an argument, that's a problem for him. And I keep getting a Star for her. So I feel like, you know, she could have like a healthy vibe about her. You know, like, I know she's healthy physically, but I feel like also she has a healthy vibe about her. She could be very helpful, very compassionate. She treats people, you know, with, you know, genuine respect and nice and stuff like that. But it's like, you know, it's just not enough for him. You know, he may feel like she got something else going on and she leaving the house. So yeah, it could have been times where she just did her own thing and that's what, you know, caused him to get physical with her. Because I'm just saying somebody minding their business or, you know, maybe wanting to just do her own thing, spend time with herself, you know. So that's what kind of pushed him to do it. Because I'm not seeing that she's an argumentative person. Like, I didn't get the Five of Wands at all for her energy. It's like so it does look like she really has tried to, like, hold down the fort and stuff like that and just stick it through as much as possible. But, you know, if she have like a positive type of energy or mindset, but she's around someone who is the opposite, it's like, what could you do? Did Yada Awakening enjoy hurting Divine Queen Yada? Page of Pentacles, Temperance, Two of Swords, Eight of Pentacles, Strength. He could be very controlling. Like, you got the Temperance and the Strength card. So it's more of like a control thing. Like, he wants to be in control. It's almost like his temper is showed physically. Strength card, Ace of Wands, Seven of Cups. Lover's card. Knight of Wands. Three of Pentacles. It's almost like he possibly wanted to keep her in a messy situation, or a situation that wasn't as organized as it appeared to be to the public. It's almost like he just wanted her to basically stay put no matter what she was dealing with. And it's like a lot of the times he just probably didn't even have a valid reason to get physical. I'm not seeing that she's hard to talk to. I'm not seeing that she's a hard person to deal with. I feel like she's very open to, you know, coming together and creating harmony. I feel like that's probably the main thing she's about, creating harmony. And it's like she could have just been dealing with someone who just wanted to lead her astray or something like that, because her energy was actually showing up quite a lot, even for questions that I asked about him. So it's like she was really involved, and maybe she even felt like, or maybe she actually was more in it by herself. She might have felt like she was in it by herself. Like, yes, he might have, you know, told her something tangible, especially when it comes to health and stuff like that. But, you know, I'm not even getting like lovey-dovey energy. I'm like, when I first started the reading, it looked like more like a high school type of love. But I didn't get the Six of Cups in the reading at all. I didn't get the Ten of Cups. So it's almost like they just had a connection that just, it seemed like it was more about business than anything. After it started off with the fluffy, you know, fluffy stuff, the little high school love, it just seemed like it ended up being more about business, you know. So it's almost like he could have just started seeing her as like a business partner that he's also benefiting from, and also, you know, he can use her as a trophy, like, oh, look at my beautiful wife, you know, send me your money. But yeah, with the Ace of Wands, Seven of Cups, Lovers is like, she could have been a part of the circus and she didn't want to be. And, you know, there could have been another reason why he, you know, put his hands on her. But it just seems like clearly things were disorganized and the best decisions weren't made. And there's an issue with control here. So let's see, what was the main issue that caused the domestic issues for Divine Queen Yada and Yada Awakening? What was the main issues that caused the domestic issues between Divine Queen Yada and Yada Awakening? So we have the Death card. Could have been times where things was just silent. It could have been times where, you know, they weren't even in communication. It was too quiet. You know, Nine of Swords, King of Pentacles. So it could have been times where he was just he was nowhere to be found, doing whatever he wanted to do, Nine of Cups, while she was, I guess, at home with the kids or doing whatever she wanted to do. But I'm just getting like, he was doing his own thing, secretly, privately, quietly. Death card, High Priestess, that's like extreme quietness, you know. When a Death card, especially, is surrounded by like swords and stuff like that, it means that, you know, there's no talking, there's nothing going on, there's, you know, there's silence. So we have the Two of Swords and we have the Eight of Pentacles. And maybe she, you know, voiced her opinion about this, you know, like, we're supposed to be you know, this couple, where are you? I haven't heard from you, or you haven't been here. I have these kids, you know, Page of Swords, Knight of Cups. He likes to do a lot of things private. It's like he just got a private life. Death card, High Priestess. He do things privately, and then he come back as if he didn't do whatever he did. At the bottom, we have the Queen of Pentacles. So it'll just be times where he just left her, you know, Queen of Pentacles at the bottom with the Death card coming out. It's like, could have been plenty of times where he could have left her and just didn't communicate with her. I'm wondering, was it days in advance and he was just making up excuses or reasons why? Especially sending text messages, text and paragraphs of why he can't do this and that, or why he haven't did this or that, or Eight of Pentacles, Page of Swords to me is like a text message, a lengthy text message, something that clearly was rehearsed or, you know, built. So it's like a lot of the stuff is stemming from his own secrets. Death card, High Priestess, Nine of Swords, King of Pentacles, Nine of Cups. Like his own secrets is the main culprit. And I mean, we know this technically because usually when somebody's acting out, they got something that they hiding, and it's like some people don't know how to properly place these issues that they have, so they take it out on the person that's closest to them, which is usually their woman. So yeah, it was basically his secret lifestyle that was the real reason he was so comfortable doing that. But for the most part, it just seems like she's choosing herself. She may have already gotten some type of therapy about it, but you know, she's choosing herself. She wasn't the problem. She was just dealing with someone who actually wasn't as he appeared to be. Someone who wanted her to exist in a situation where there was a lot of smoke and mirrors. All right, so that is the reading. Have a good one.